Good morning, everybody. It's Jen here again, and I'm using my Scraptastic July kit for this layout. This layout is one of those that I was talking about that is at a slightly odd camera angle. This was one of the first videos I had recorded back before I figured out exactly how I should set up my camera for a good camera angle. So I played with it a little bit and got it at a slightly better camera angle, but it's still not great. I'm going to post it anyway and just get it off of my hard drive because it's taking up not a lot of space, but it's taking up space. So anyway, I'm using photos from Hawaii, and this was probably my favorite kit, Scraptastic, I've gotten from Scraptastic to date. I love summer paper. I'm a sucker for anything summer. Some people say they're a sucker for Christmas. I'm a sucker for anything summer. I feel like I have to have every single summer collection that comes out. Do I use them all? No. I have mostly summer collections, just waiting to be used. So I'm flipping through the papers here, and I had matted two of my photos on a Simple Stories Good Day Sunshine. It was like a rainbow effect paper, and I'm putting that on. That's going to be my base. I think it's a 10 by 10 I cut it down to, and am now matting it on the green cardstock that came in the kit, and I cut a piece of that Fancy Pants wood grain star paper off there, and I'm going to put it so it makes it appear that there is make it appear that there's a full piece of paper, and I'm lining it up using my ruler so it looks completely like there is a piece of paper and I didn't just cut it off. Usually I have no problem doing that, and I don't tend to care, but when I have a kit that I love, I try to use as much of the paper as I possibly can, and I really like that wood grain star paper. It'll make a couple of more appearances, although I don't know if I recorded all the layouts. I do quite a few layouts, so I haven't been recording them all because I can't keep up with posting them and doing voiceovers and all of that. So you're probably only seeing about a third of the layouts that I do make. It depends on what I'm doing for the day. Usually when I scrap, I'll scrap like once or twice a week, and I'll do like 6 or 7 layouts at a time because my layouts they take me less than an hour. Some of them only take me a half an hour. So that's 3 to 6 hours of scrapping in a day or an evening, and I'm not someone who tends to leave it out and walk away and come back. It has to be done before I'm done scrapping. I can't leave a layout half done. Anyway, here I am going through all of the embellishments of this kit. I did get the extra wood veneer for this kit, so I have tons of wood veneer still. So I pulled out a geotag that had a sun on it, the big sun that said sunshine, and one of the cut aparts that I'm going to do my journaling on. And now I'm pulling off a couple of brads, and I pulled out some of the Simple Stories Good Day Sunshine die cuts to put in a couple of clusters. And I'm going through trying to pull anything I could possibly see that would work. I do use one of the cameo cuts that says Sunkissed, and I was thinking about changing the color, but then I decided that, you know what, there's so much color on this layout anyway. I am just going to put it under the photo and leave it white because it really stands out on that rainbow paper. And these photos were taken, like I said, from Hawaii, and we went on last time we went to Hawaii, we spent a week in Kauai, and this time we spent a week in Kauai. And the first time we were doing the cruise, so they did a Nepali coast sail-by on the big cruise ship, and that is not where these photos were taken. These photos we took, we did a Nepali coast snorkeling tour this trip, and that's what these photos are from. And it's funny because I still have the same bathing suit because we went 2 years in a row, and I tend to only buy a new bathing suit every couple of years. So it was difficult for me to actually figure out what photos were what, except for the fact I had a different haircut, and I realized that later. I'm like, oh, hey, look, I got my hair in a ponytail 2 years ago, and now this year I have my hair cut really short. So that was my distinguishing factor. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to tell what year it was from. But on the cruise ship, it actually made the Nepali coast look very small, much smaller than it was in real person, or real life. And on the little two-story snorkeling catamaran boat, you could really appreciate how large the cliffs were. Although I did find that the cliffs on Highway 3, H3 in Oahu were much larger. And I felt that it's going from the south shore, I think it's the south shore of the island, to the north shore of the island. You could really appreciate how large those cliffs were. They were fantastic. So I wasn't all that impressed with the size of the Nepali coast the second time around, because we had just seen those large cliffs in Oahu the week before. Anyway, you can see that I've put down my embellishments here, a couple of those die cuts, and I put down an anchor. Now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for a title, and I'm pulling out the 2 element stickers, and that, I don't think I really pulled anything from that sticker sheet. I might have, 1 or 2 things. Couple of arrows, it looks like, just to draw your eye back to those embellishments. But the other sticker sheet, the element sticker sheet that has the letters, that thing was awful. I would say that I couldn't use any of the red alphabet because they weren't cut all the way through, and when you peeled them off they would rip, and there was no adhesive on them. And then the wood grain alphabet, which I loved, you could only use about a half of it for the same issue. The top of the sheet was cut all the way through, and the bottom was not. It was it kept ripping, and there was no adhesive, and I made do. I did glue down a lot of the wood grain that I did use, but it was really frustrating, and it took me forever, and it was so frustrating that I just gave up, and I haven't used them again. The right side of the sheet were all the phrases and stuff. That's fine. I had no issue with that. It was just the letters. So I do have other wood grain alphabets that I did use if I really wanted it, but it was annoying. So I'm using the letters that came in the kit. These I think they were We Are Memory Keepers, that were almost, I don't know what you would call them, like a leather look. Like they were brown but looked almost like a alligator skin or something. I didn't care for them. They're not my favorite. But I'll use them. I'll use it to get rid of it. And it did go well here. And I'm using a couple more of what are these from? I have no idea what these are from. They might be, again, from that Simple Stories Good Day Sunshine kit. It could be from something in my stash. But the title of this layout is simply going to be Nepali Coast. Sometimes I'm not too creative with my layout. Sometimes I am. This was not a creative layout or a creative title name. So I'm cutting out, I was having some issues there with getting the middle of the A out, and I'm putting everything down. And I think after that, I think I might put a brad or 2 in, but I think, oh no, I'm going to put some washi tape down. Pull out, I'm using that geotag, that wooden geotag. And I do, I'm not a huge washi tape fan. I love it. I'm a collector of washi tape, but I don't tend to be a user of it. So especially if it comes in a kit, I try to use it. So I did make use of it on this layout. I'm just putting a couple other die cuts down in the meantime, putting a couple of brads in to add a little bit of dimension. And then you will see me put a couple of strips of washi tape down. I think I put it in 2 spots. I could put it in 3. Not quite sure. But I did like this washi tape. It's sheer, so it adds something, but it doesn't add it. It's not like, oh my God, that's washi tape. That's what I like about it. So I think that I put it down the 2 spots. I don't think I put it in a 3rd. I think that is all set and my layout is done. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.